Jihadist terrorism is not a future possibility, it is a present reality. Violent jihadism is not just a danger somewhere else, it seeks to harm us here in Canada, in our cities, and in our neighborhoods through horrific acts like deliberately driving a car at a defenseless man or shooting a soldier in the back as he stands on guard at a war memorial.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper earlier today talking about violent extremist jihadism. Now, meanwhile, as Ottawa's been debating anti-terror legislation, there are stories out about the Muslim Association of Canada and claims that it has connections with extremism. They're denying these allegations now that they have funneled money to a Hamas-linked charity. A QMI investigation found the Toronto-based nonprofit was named in an RCMP probe into terrorist financing. Warrants indicate that the group sent nearly $300,000 to Irfan Canada, a group that has raised millions for Hamas and has itself been listed as a terrorist organization. But MAC responds saying it hasn't supported Irfan since 2011. Marc Labouille is with Point de Pascal. He joins me now from Montreal. Marc, this is a major organization, Muslim Association of Canada, isn't it? It's one of the biggest.
It's actually one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in terms of real estate ownership, in terms of their how expanded they are in all of Canada. Their influence also, because there are some Islamic institutions that may not have real estate or official status with the MAC, but the MAC does have a lot of influence inside of huge quantities of Islamic organization through sharing board of directors of all kinds and also sharing conferences or all kinds of events.
They run schools, they run mosques, they run community centers.
Absolutely, and beyond also. They also run some other types of real estate. So if you go in each provinces, if you go in a place like in Quebec, there's also, we can say that they have also control almost on the daycare.
Okay, well, and in Ottawa, several schools. Calgary is a major hub for them as well. This is an organization that's affiliated also with the Muslim Student Association. Am I correct?
There's some of the leadership give training to the Muslim Students Association, and very often the leaders of the Muslim Students Association will become board of directors of the MAC. For example, 2 years ago, when the event of Graham Greene came to Montreal, when he made the highlights in the media, and also it was the debate of the Quebec National Assembly, Greene, who is basically extremely radical in his preaches are on YouTube. Well, the conference was canceled in Concordia. It was shifted to the MAC premises, and the Muslim Students Association leader at the time said there was nothing wrong. He looked at the background of this individual. There was nothing wrong with these guys. And then the year after, he was on the board of director of MAC.
All right, I want to read off the statement from the Muslim Association of Canada and then ask you a specific question. They say when specific allegations against Irfan's relationship with groups that are inconsistent with MAC's values arose, we immediately stopped all donations to that group. Perhaps they did. Let me ask you this. Is MAC, is it one of the many groups that comes out of and acknowledges the Muslim Brotherhood as their spiritual basis?
According to the Global Muslim Brotherhood Daily Report or Daily Watch, an organization specialized in monitoring specifically the international Muslim Brotherhood activity worldwide, they say that according to them, MAC would perhaps be the only organization apart from the Hamas to openly affiliate themselves with the ideology of the Muslim Brotherhood, and specifically also naming Hassan al-Banna, the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood, as an inspiration to follow through.
So, I mean, that to me right there is problematic, because the Brotherhood is a supremacist ideology, and it's also the one that is the basis of many of the groups that are problematic around the world, from not only Hamas, but Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and so on.
Well, the leadership of Al-Qaeda, a lot of them, even Osama bin Laden, but his second in command, were members of the Muslim Brotherhood. But here's an interesting fact. Youssef el-Qaradawi, the spiritual leader, worldwide leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, recently declared that the leadership of the Islamic State were former members of the Muslim Brotherhood, and all of them are highly educated, and some of them come from the finest universities in the world.
Marc, it is always an interesting travel with you going through this interconnected web. We'll post links to the stories we've been talking about on Facebook, facebook.com/Brian Lilly.